go.
There is nothing that changes.
What is going on? That caught me off guard. I was not looking at the screen when that music
Well,
ended.
I am adding the dates in my calendar.
Oh,
Oh, I just messed up.
how
Dang it.
exciting. Wow.
Well,
You really,
in my planner through the end of
wow.
March, but I just wrote 322 and I was going to write 32 instead of 23. So
You, you, re-
clearly,
you really just are living, the wild life over there, man.
oh,
Putting
I
dates on
know.
calendars.
I
Man, how are you going
know.
to sleep tonight after all this excitement?
I don't know, but I did just have coffee too, so yeah, and
Well,
it's
welcome
empty.
back. We're recording,
Yes,
a day
I'm
early?
so excited.
We're on Wednesday instead of Thursday this week.
Yes. And I'm gonna right now. I'm going to hit record on quick.
Oh, yeah, I probably should record my audio. That's
Okay, I'm recording my audio.
That seems
I'm
kind of
jumping in
important.
Discord. Shout out to Shirley, who's already in
Is Shirley already in there?
Discord.
What's going on, Shirley?
Shirley's
Oh, maybe I should
already in
join
there.
unless
She's
she
like,
can hear me.
I'm ready.
All right, now I'm in there. What's going on, Shirley?
You
Welcome.
changed your picture. How
Did
do
I?
you change your picture?
Allison, we don't have nearly enough time to show you how to change your picture on Discord. We have to say that for when I got like a free hour.
Okay,
Maybe
that sounds about right.
Maybe I'll find a video that's like Discord for the elderly.
Oh, I would love that.
And then we can make
You.
sure you get in there. Okay, wait.
That would be
All right,
great.
let me pause this. All right, so Allison, I have something. I've been like, I wanted to open up the show with something different, like mix it up a little bit.
Wait,
So,
are we starting already? Are we gonna
no,
clap?
no. Oh, maybe I should record first too, huh? I was
Oh
jumping ahead
my
of
gosh.
myself.
Wow.
I was
How
so
was
excited. I was
I?
so excited to show you this new thing that I wasn't even ready for this. All right, yeah, new audio recording. How about that? How about I click that? All
How
right.
about that? And then let's clap.
All right, I am recording now. It's official.
Okay. I'm gonna clap. We're gonna clap on the count of 3.
All
Okay?
right, one.
3,
Oh,
2.
all right. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Okay.
Got
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
we got the Garfield clap going on in the chat
I
here.
love it.
Oh
Love it.
man!
Love it.
All right. So yeah, now that I haven't jumped ahead of myself. I wanted
Yeah.
to add something extra to the beginning of the show. So I found this video, Allison, and it felt very appropriate for what we talked about recently, because we had a little conversation about the Waffle House in a recent episode. Did we not? You
Yes.
probably don't remember. Your Matt came in. We were talking about some Waffle House stuff. So I wanted to show you this video I
Okay.
came across. Felt very
Okay.
appropriate.
Cutest little diner. I found the cutest
Right
little.
beside
Here
my
we go.
neighborhood. Oh my God, I just found the cutest diner right beside my neighborhood. It's called Waffle House. It goes for this antique chic view, and props to the designers because they definitely made it feel old. The menu had several different breakfast options. I asked the waitress what's her favorite thing. She said Xanax, but I just went ahead and went with the All-Star Special. I asked her what paired best, and she gave me a Mr. Pibb. It was awesome. The bacon was a little undercooked, so I asked the chef to throw it back on the grill for a bit, and she said, fight me, oh. They're so quirky there. Great experience. 10 out of 10.
Oh
So
my gosh, I love it.
I thought you would
That's
enjoy
good.
that. Oh, good
I
old
do
Waffle
enjoy
House.
that. Thank you. I love a good Waffle House.
I know you were really talking some hate on Cracker Barrel, which I've never been to, so I don't know if the hate is justified.
It's just overrated
Is it
That's
rated
all.
highly?
by people in my family. It is. And certain people think it's amazing.
See, I don't even know if there's Cracker Barrels in California. There might be, but I don't think I've ever been inside of one. I'm pretty sure I haven't. If
Oh,
there is one.
I don't recommend it.
Well, thank you. Okay, I'll
Go
cross
to a
off my
Waffle
list.
House instead.
All right. So now we're all warmed up. Should we hop into the episode? Make it official?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
right,
do it.
I'm-
You get to share your story.
I'm recording. We're in Discord. I think we're set. I'm just double checking. For some reason, I feel like we started too quickly. I was like, normally we don't get things up and running this fast. So something
Well,
must
it's
have
just
gotten
'cause
dropped.
we're on top of things today.
It's an odd feeling. I always feel like something's
I
got to
like
go
it.
wrong. This can't be right. All right.
Do you have your buttons ready?
My buttons. Oh, yeah. Let me get them right here. All right. So should I make myself big? I'll make myself big on the screen.
Okay.
I'm never big on the screen. All right. So this story comes from what happened right after our recording last episode, Allison. So we normally wrap up and we kind of talk a little bit after the recording's over, and it's already late. For you, it's really late, but for me, it's kind of late. And we're tired, staring at a camera, talking for, a couple of hours. So every time we're done, I get up and I go walk to the kitchen. I grab some water or maybe like something to snack on real quick. And I think I must have forgotten something in the office. So I come back over here and I turn the corner and I see this figure in the shadows. So I turn the lights off and my soul left my body. Hey, this is Chris.
And this is Allison, and you're listening to This Is Awkward. And was it someone coming to kidnap you? I think it was someone coming, and they were going to steal you and take you to Europe, like in the movie Taken. And you were going to need Liam Neeson. Is that his name?
Sure.
To come save you, rescue you. Isn't that his name, Liam Neeson?
Oh, Liam.
I don't know.
No, it was not. No. What happened was I bought a like clothes rack thing for my door here.
Okay.
Because I have like shirts when I need to do like, something on camera. I have a quick shirt I can grab. And I forgot that I had bought this. And so the door was open and the shirt was hanging off the side. And I thought there was someone just randomly in the shadows of my office. And it caught me. I was like, you ever feel like your stomach just drop and you're just like, somebody in this
clothing.
Room?
Was it 100% cotton? Because that is terrifying.
It is. It gets so heavy in the rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It doesn't breathe well. It's not dry fit.
Now, if it would have been a dry fit shirt, no problem. But a long sleeve cotton shirt, I just completely forgot that I put this in this room. So I was not expecting that to be there.
I'm just gonna put this out there, and maybe this is me being judgmental, and you tell me if it is. I feel like I'm shocked that you would get scared that someone was in your apartment when you are a very large, strong man. Like, who would make their way in there? Like, I sometimes get, if Matt's ever like out of town overnight, like I get nervous, but I'm just like a dainty little creature.
Let's calm that down. For one. Now, here's the thing. I don't care how big you are. I don't want a random person to be in a room and they weren't in there before I left. So it was more like, what just happened? Like, I was just like, is there somebody in here? Like, imagine just turning the corner and I'm turning the corner in what I think is an empty apartment. And it looks like there's somebody standing in the dark corner. I was like,
that's true.
Yeah.
In fact, you just made me think of another awkward story I could share.
I told you will never run out of awkward stories. That is never going to happen to you.
This is a good one from my childhood.
And by the time you beat up that home intruder, I remember that you told me that was.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. No, I'm joking. Did you beat up someone who broke into your house?
No.
Oh, you weren't listening to me. That's what it was. So,
okay.
Anyways, yes, I scared the crap out of myself because there's something hanging in the corner.
Did you yell? Did you do like this high pitched scream?
No. And if I did, you think I'd admit that on the internet? No. No, but I did completely pause for a second. My stomach dropped. I was like, is there somebody in this room? But then I realized, oh yeah, Chris, you hung a shirt in the corner, so you're fine.
Sometimes we do that though. Sometimes we catch ourselves off guard, or we get caught off guard by shirts or even people that cause us to have really awkward and uncomfortable situations. And that's what we do here. We talk about your awkward situations, whether they are with clothing or someone that you're encountering money with, some sort of awkward money situation. And we talk through it so that way you don't lose your friends or family along the way. Hopefully.
What a segue.
I know, right? That one was good, huh?
And you know what? What makes this show great is when you all send in your awkward stories. And you know what? We won't judge you. I'm like Allison, who's like, oh, Chris, you can't be afraid. You can't be startled. You're a fat man. And I was like, look, Allison, we all get startled in our lives. I'm not too big of a man to be like, I didn't get startled. I got scared. I was like, what's in the back of this room? So
I use the word strong. Maybe your stomach is very strong these days. I don't know.
Is that how you gonna start insulting people? Wow, no. You're so much stronger than the last time I saw you. Anyways, you can be a part of the show by sending in your awkward story by calling us at 707-200-8259 or going to the website. It is awkwardpodcast.com, and you can leave it there. Like today's guest, or I guess writer did. I ran through all the possible ways we could use, all the titles we could use for them.
Yes, and this one's really good. I'm very excited about it. I read it very briefly beforehand, and honestly, Chris, it's about retirement and family. And I honestly I'm at a loss for what to tell this person, so I can't wait to dive into it.
That's a great way to start off our advice show. I don't know what I'm going to say to this person.
I'm just trying to be honest, okay? But I'll figure something out. I'll wing it. I'll figure something out to say.
You know what? While you're figuring it out, people can head over to Patreon. They can go to patreon.com/thisisawkwardpodcast and join our Patreon, get bonus episodes, get an ad-free podcast feed. You get to come in the Discord and join us, like Shirley is in there right now, and just have an overall good time.
Yeah, so is Logan and Angie. Hello, right? Doesn't that green dot mean they're here?
Oh, yeah. Look at that. They weren't in the chat.
Okay,
They're probably
good.
on YouTube. Yeah, they are here. I had it covered. I couldn't see that part.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I don't know how to use Discord as well as I wish I did, but I do know how to communicate. I don't know what all the dots mean.
You know how to type.
I know how to type. And we want you to be part of it. So if you're interested in that, then go to patreon.com/thisisawkwardpodcast or click the link in the show notes. We cannot wait to meet you and have you join our little This Is Awkward Patreon family, which, by the way, we're talking about taking a cruise one day. One day we're going to make that happen.
One day. We got to set like a milestone, right, in our Patreon. Like once we hit this level, we're going to have a real awkward cruise.
A real awkward cruise. Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll be right back after a quick awkward break.
There you go.
Oh,
Boom,
look at that.
Look at that.
I can't bring us back from a break, but I can take us to one.
That you can. That you can. Oh man, how dare you shame me? How dare you shame me?
You called yourself fat. I don't like it when you call my friend names. Okay? That's what I tell Matt whenever he says something like, when he's, I'm so lame. Whenever Matt, like, if he has like negative self-talk and he says it out loud, I'll say, I don't like it when you talk about my husband that way. He kind of rolls his eyes, which I don't know why, because it's awesome.
Maybe his eyes was just itching. He's trying to scratch it by moving them around. I can't imagine a situation in which anyone would roll their eyes at you. Never.
No, never. No. Never, ever.
Oh man! All right, I'll bring us back from the break. We have a short break today. We're moving. We had a deadline today.
We do have a deadline, but can you read the story since I read it last time?
Oh yeah, no problem. Let me bring it up here.
Gracias.
Oh, you've been practicing your Spanish?
I am half Hispanic, but I don't know.
Again, have you been practicing your Spanish?
No, I've given up on Duolingo. But Evan is using Duolingo to practice Greek.
I would have never. Why Greek?
He is really into Greek mythology.
Ooh.
I'm like, why not Spanish? Like, let's do a language you'll need.
You're out in the streets and that Greek gang rolls up on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Old Town Zeus rolls up on you. You gotta, be ready.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So wait, no. If I'm reading it, you have to bring us back from the break then.
Okay, here we go. We're back from the break. Chris, take it over.
Wow. Man, you should get into voice acting. That was amazing. That was so believable.
Thanks. I hope so.
So
we're back. Chris,
we are back.
Can you share our story?
I will, because today's awkward story came from someone goes by Jane. You can go over to awkwardpodcast.com. There's a form, and when you fill out the form, you can put whatever name you want. This person chose to put Jane. So that's who we're going to be referring to today. And this is how the story goes. I have an awkward situation with my brother, who is my financial advisor and broker. He owns his own brokerage, and I have been a client for many years. His company has custody of the majority of my assets, most significantly my primary retirement asset inside of an IRA. I plan to retire in 3 years. In late 2020, my brother turned his back on the entire family and picked a fight with his 4 siblings, including me, on political grounds. He has refused to speak to me since October of 2020. He has retained me as a client of the brokerage, but my interests are being handled by a junior advisor. I believe that my current advisor is competent, but I don't feel like he is a big picture person. I'm told by a sibling that the junior advisor asked my brother for direction about major issues, but my advisor declines to answer any questions about his working relationship with my brother. Do you believe that my assets are secure in the situation I've described? And do you think I should move to another brokerage? So
Whoa.
a lot going on here. Allison, I know you said you had so many things to say about this that you
I
couldn't even
know.
pick
I have
one.
so many thoughts. Actually, no, I have been thinking through this since the start of this show a couple minutes ago. And I will say that I think that this is a tough situation because you're mixing your nest egg with family.
Yeah.
Now, as you were reading it, I was like, no one should mix their nest egg with family. What are you, stupid? Which, no, you're not. But then I thought, well, what if, someone really is good at what they do and they're really trustworthy and they are your sibling and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, I want you to manage my money because I know you're going to do a good job and I know you're going to fill me in and all of those things. So I wouldn't recommend having a family member just in the future manage your retirement, especially if you don't have your hands in it and you don't feel like you can control it, because that's what it seems like is going on. It sounds like Jane feels like, okay, he's managing it, but the person who's really in charge, this junior advisor, doesn't feel like, she doesn't think that they're competent.
Yeah, she doesn't
She's
believe in
not
this
feeling,
person.
she doesn't believe in this person. So that right there, that's a red flag. If the main person managing your money, if you don't believe in them and they're not answering your questions or getting back to you, or they have to turn to help to someone who's not even talking to you, that to me is a red flag. Now, this could all be avoided if you hadn't gone to your brother in the first place, or if he wasn't a crazy person and cut his family off. So, and I shouldn't say crazy person, because there are times whenever it's
Wow,
appropriate
you
to
went
cut your
from
family
judging
off.
me to judging our callers now, our listeners.
No, I'm not
Wow.
judging Jane. But here's what I will say. I will say that it is very unfortunate that Jane's brother took a family issue and the consequences or the repercussions of that issue are seeping into her retirement account and money issue. So you have something that should have been two separate things. You have someone managing your money, you have a family issue, and it's unfortunate that the brother is letting the family issue not let his sister get the support she is paying for. Let's get that straight. She is paying for support that for her retirement dollars, especially since she's retiring soon. So I say reach out to brother and say, look, I have some questions. If you're not going to talk to me about that, that is your choice. I'll be looking at possibly moving my money into a different brokerage if you're not willing to communicate with me as your client.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good way to approach it, because it's people. I think when I posted that this is going to be a topic going for live, I think I immediately saw someone say, "This is why you don't do business with family." And I don't like making blanket statements, but there is a little bit of truth to that, because we tend to, you're going to treat family a little bit differently, right? Like, you're not going to be maybe as honest, or maybe take an action that's going to maybe negatively financially affect this person, right? Because I'm assuming he's making money based off of the amount of money that he's, managing for his sister.
Of course.
So if she pulls the money, then obviously, it's going to decrease his income or whatever it is. So when those factors are involved, it can be hard to be like, I know the right decision isn't to stay with this person, stay with my brother and keep my brokerage account here, but I don't want to pull it and financially harm him, which I'm assuming is the reason why she hasn't moved it right away.
No, I don't think that's it.
You don't think so?
No. I think she just hasn't done it because it's a big task. I mean, let's think about this really quickly. Okay, if she goes and decides to pull the money out of his brokerage and say, I'm taking my money to Fidelity, right? What's he going to do? Cut contact with her? He's already not talking to her.
Well, I mean, that's true, but I was trying to think of the reason why. Like, why not move it unless there's a reason why you've decided to keep it there? Because it felt like it was more than just, it's going to be a hassle.
Oh, no. I think it's because she trusts her brother would be hiring or would be handling her money. But now she feels like, wait a minute, he's not even handling it. He's passed it off to a junior advisor. So in the past, it seems like she got like this one-on-one financial advisor attention from the owner of the brokerage. And since this family dilemma and this family fallout, he has since said, not going to manage your money, and passed it on to this junior advisor. So she's no
But
longer getting this
it's been
like
3 years.
more.
Why stick around? Unless you're like, I want to stick around because it's my brother and it's
No,
his
I don't
firm,
think
and I don't
so.
want to. I
I
don't know. Well,
doubt it.
This I think this
Maybe
would.
maybe it's the fact that it's overwhelming to move that large of a nest egg, and if she's been depending on someone to guide her to think about moving it somewhere else, who does she trust? How does she know they're not going to take advantage of her? She has a large nest egg. How does she know the process? Like
Well, I will
that's a
say
big
though,
task.
because she does already have concerns, right? Because she's like, it's one thing to say like, oh, I at least I may not be talking to him, but I feel that my money's secure. But she even asked, do you believe that my assets are secure in this situation? So that means maybe
Oh.
she's probably not feeling too confident. Like she's starting to question, like, is
Mhm.
this a good idea? So I don't know. It could be, I think it could be either of our takes on this. Like either
Mhm.
she's like, I don't want to take the money because it's, I don't want to take money out of his pocket, or she's like, it just seems like kind of scary. But I think if you're asking yourself, is my money safe here? I think you already
Yeah.
kind of know that you probably don't want to keep it there.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't know. I can't say if these people are legit and, your money's at
Yeah,
risk.
obviously.
If they're, on the up and up, you can, they're not going to steal your money if they're a legitimate business and they're doing right by you, even
Yeah.
though your brother doesn't want to talk to you. So if you trust the company that much, I wouldn't necessarily be concerned, but I would be concerned that I'm not getting the help that I need. And if you're not
Or the
happy,
help you're paying for.
exactly. So in that situation, I wouldn't be averse to moving the money because, I don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with, worrying about your money safe. Plus, am I going to have enough to retire? Oh, there's too many things to think about at once.
I agree with that. But I think the best thing to do is to just reach out and say, and don't text him, don't call him, don't send him a personal email. You email him on his work email, his business email, and you say, as a client, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
And you ask just straightforward, why has my money been passed off? And you ask them what you want to ask them. Um, and then if they don't respond, then hello, that is like a big. Although what I think he would do is I think he would forward it to the junior advisor and have the junior advisor respond. It seems like that would happen. But here's the deal. If my financial advisor, if my accountant, if my housekeeper, I don't know, I'm just thinking of like people that support you is refusing to talk to you, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
would
a
you
big one.
you wouldn't stay with an accountant who refuses to communicate with you and answer your questions.
No.
Like you wouldn't do that. So he's unfortunately letting family bleed into his business, and there are consequences for doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he's taking that stand, I wouldn't feel guilty about taking my money somewhere else. But I think that's the only way you can have a relationship, like a financial, business, any type of relationship with a family member other than just being their family member. You have to treat it like as pure business. Like we can be cool, we can have fun, we can talk about other stuff, but when it comes to this specific thing, it has to be all business, and you have to keep those two worlds very separate. And if you can't do that, that's when all these problems happen, because it's really hard to do that. It's hard not to let your personal relationships bleed over into, this other stuff.
I think it would almost be even more awkward if, I don't know, tell me if you think this would be awkward. If it was a brother and sister and they were on good terms, but Jane wanted to leave and take her money all out of the brokerage because she I don't know, she was just like, I don't want it here anymore. I don't feel like it's growing enough, or I don't feel like it's invested in the way I want it to be invested, and then has to go to a sibling and be like, I'm taking all my money out. I feel like that would be awkward.
Yeah, I think that would be harder to me. Like if I had a good relationship with someone and then I needed to pull money away from their business, then that would be a lot harder, because then you have to think about, well, what's going to happen to the relationship? And the great thing about this is the relationship, he's already ruined the relationship. So at this point,
it can't get worse.
It can't get worse.
Yes.
So you gotta look out for yourself in this situation. I think like if you're unhappy, if you're nervous, there are so many options, so many places you could take your money to get it managed, that you don't have to be stuck in this one situation. Maybe if it was like 30 years ago where it was, the internet didn't exist and it was a lot harder to move your money around and all those other things. And how are you going to find another person? Like, I think now is a great time to be able to figure out what works best for you and find another solution. Because if you think about this, you're going to be retired for hopefully decades, right? You're going to live a nice long life. And
Yep.
every time you got a question, every time you need to get some
Oh my
money, you got to think
gosh, you're
about your
right.
brother and that relationship. And you got to think about, I got to call and talk to this guy. I don't want to, who's this guy, this junior guy? I don't want to, I don't want to talk to him.
Well, you're so right. I would hope in my silver lining, my half glass full type personality, I'm like, oh, they'll mend their relationship before I'm hoping one day. But regardless, she can't go back in time and
Yeah.
not invest this money with her brother's brokerage. So my question for you, Chris, is let's say someone is listening and they are considering just doing some sort of business with family. So maybe not even investing, but maybe life insurance or car insurance, home insurance, or any type of thing that is very personal. Accountant, what is your take on hiring family members to do something like that? Even if it's like a
Mm.
realtor or a mortgage loan officer, like what are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, my gut reaction was don't do it, but I have no personal reason. Like I had no personal experience where I like worked with a family member and it went poorly. So it's
He's
not,
like, last time I had my brother do my physical therapy.
I couldn't walk.
I don't know.
My leg was messed up for 3 weeks. No, I would say if I was approaching this and I have a family member who's good at one of these things, there's two things. One, you have to treat this exactly as if it was a stranger. You have to, when it comes to what services you're getting from them, right? Like you don't get
Hello.
extra stuff.
My name is Christopher Browning.
Walking, there's nice to meet you.
Yes, I'm picturing you writing an email.
No, but
Sorry.
you have to walk into the situation as if it's like you don't know, like you aren't doing them any favors. You're not going to sign extra policies, or you're not going to take on a bigger loan just because of your family members. Like, no.
Yeah. Okay.
It has to be what's best for you and what you actually want. And number two, I would even consider this. It's more work, but I would even consider after I talk to the family member, getting a second opinion from someone else who is not that family member. So say it's like they're in insurance, right? You want to get some life insurance, and they talk to you and they say you need to get X, Y, and Z. I would go call up another insurance broker and ask them, could I get a quote or an estimate based off of these details? And if they're willing to talk to you, say this is what I'm looking for. This is where I'm at. And if they're offering you something that's drastically different from the other person, then maybe you start thinking about, okay, is this a good relationship? Are they giving me a fair deal? I mean, they could just be really good at what they're doing and just know better than this random person you just found. But I think getting another opinion at least gives you a comparison. So that way, all right, I'm doing the right thing for myself, not just the right thing to try to help this other person out.
What a slap in the face to your family member.
I mean,
I'm going to go behind your back.
you don't gotta tell them.
Behind your back. Call your competition and see what you are really saying.
And then come back to them and say, you know what? You were trying to rip me off.
Yeah, exactly.
I talked to Jimmy over here, and he's giving me half the price.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, what about you? What are
Okay.
your thoughts on this? If you're in that
I think
situation.
that if I'm in this situation, I think it definitely depends on the type of thing, because I'm like kind of like you, like, no, don't do it. But then I'm literally like, wait a minute. I'm kind of like, I kind of do that because I think, well, I have someone that works for me 10 to 15 hours a week. That's a really good friend.
And
So
you're
it's
just
like, who
ripping
am
them
I?
off left and right.
Yeah, like paying her pennies. No, but I mean, I just think like, okay, well, that is something that I would say, no, don't do that. Don't work for your friends and family. But it's like, okay, well, I've hired her, and that is a risky thing. I think that just anytime you're going to mix family or friends with some sort of business, or something that you would pay someone for like that, you're just be aware that you're opening the door to multiple things. You could be
Yeah.
opening the door for a really successful partnership. You could be opening the door for a really fair deal, but you could also be opening the door for some drama, for something that could go wrong. And when it does go wrong, when you have that personal tie, it's harder to close the door.
Yes.
So you just
Yeah.
have to be aware. And, because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I hired my friend Jessica, and I don't want her to not work for me because she's worried that I'm going to treat her wrong one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think too, if you can't be open and honest with them right now, like before you start a business relationship, if you can't be direct with this person and have like honest conversations, if you're already kind of like nervous to bring up like just even like any little thing, then that's probably a sign that you shouldn't go into business or do any type of business with this person, because the moment something comes up and you have a problem with it, it's going to be really hard to try to address that with them. And you just gotta be real with yourself on that.
Yes. I want to wrap this up by saying that I know whoever is listening, this story might have triggered something in you that's like, oh, I do have a situation where I had a friend or family member as a realtor, or I had someone doing my taxes and something like that. I know this has triggered some sort of memory, and I want you to go to awkwardpodcast.com. And I want you to submit your story, because while you might have already lived through it, it could help someone else that might be going through something very similar learn how to navigate this and maybe come out on the other side in a way that's positive for everyone. So I think that this is something that many people might have gone through, that's something similar but different. And I have a feeling people they're thinking right now.
Yeah, if you got a story you want to share, drop that off here. So, Jane, I think to wrap up, Allison, here, let me know if you're on the same page with me on this one. I think, do we think her assets are secure? I'd say, well, one, we don't know this person, so you gotta take your own judgment on that.
We don't know what you're investing in, so it could be, if it's crypto, it's not secure. Okay.
or we don't know. We don't know if like how honest this business is, but if you believed in them before and you think they're a legit company, I wouldn't necessarily think something would go wrong. But again, people can do anything. But I think it's like this. You have to make your own judgment call on that if you think it's secure, because it's a little too hard from a distance for us to say whether or not this would be secure. But on whether or not you should move it to another brokerage, I think, Allison, based off of your advice, like if you can't talk to them, if you can't like get a direct answer and communicate with them, then that's probably when it's time to start thinking about making a change, because,
Exactly.
if you can't get the help you need, then, what are you paying for?
Yeah. If someone's giving you a service and you're paying them for a service, and part of that service is communicating with you effectively and on time, and they're not doing that, you would cancel the service. So if Netflix stopped giving me access to Netflix, I would cancel Netflix.
No, but what if Netflix gave you access to like Hulu instead? They're like, look, we can't give you Netflix right now, but we can give you Hulu.
I already get Hulu for free through my cell phone company. I don't need 2 Hulus. That's what I would tell them. Give me some Netflix, because I need to talk about what I'm loving this week, and I'm watching it on Netflix.
Oh, Jane. Well, don't let Netflix give you Hulu, Jane. And I want someone to take Netflix away from Allison, because I really don't want to hear about what's on this list that I'm seeing. Next up.
Oh, well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back for my favorite segment.
Boom. The break.
Look, we're doing good.
Still no animation.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What about that?
Oh, man. Oh, well, welcome. I think you already shouted out everyone here. Angie, we got Shirley, Logan over here in the chat.
I see. He said hello. You said hola.
And then you made me want to practice my Spanish.
De nada.
I was one class away from getting my AA in Spanish when I was in college. I went back to do Spanish.
I know, you told me.
And then I'm gonna tell you again, and then I couldn't go back to class because of work, and then I've forgotten like 90% of my Spanish now.
I'm the most Hispanic Black person you'll ever meet.
Wow. Allison,
but you did almost get your AA in Spanish.
Wow, I don't even know what to say anymore to you.
Why? You should say it in Spanish.
You don't deserve to hear these. You don't deserve to hear these Spanish words.
Do you have a lot of Spanish? Like growing up, was there a lot of people speaking Spanish? Wasn't it? What did you say your high school was? Your friends? You said most of them were Asian, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I did have a lot of Asian friends.
Didn't you meet Vina in the Asian club?
I did. That's
didn't you go to the Asian club?
That's how many Asian friends I had, because we were all cool. So I would go with them to their club at lunch break, and I was in the I think it was the Asian and Pacific Islander club. I would just be there, and it would be
Did they look at you like you were weird or no?
Here's the thing. I know all the Black people who were there. There's 3 of us, because they immediately were like, "Oh, do you guys know each other?"
Wow.
But the funny thing was I didn't know one of them. But yeah, no.
You didn't know all of them?
No, I knew one of them.
Oh, okay.
But no, the city I grew up in had a really large Mexican population. I'd say like the majority of the city was Mexican, and I ended up working at a bank down the street. And
I remember you telling
a
me
lot of
this.
people, like the majority of the customers who came in spoke Spanish, and that was kind of like what was pushing me, like, oh, I want to learn Spanish. It's like I'm sitting here like with my horrible Spanish trying to help these people, and
They're like, why did we hire this guy?
it was bad.
He put on his application he was in the Asian club.
No, but I mean, most people spoke English who came in there. But every now and then you have,
Yeah.
people coming with like their parents or some older people in the city. They didn't speak English, and so they would come in, and I would practice with my coworkers. That's how I learned more. Was like I practiced with everyone in the bank because I was the only person who worked there who didn't speak Spanish.
So they were like, we're doing full immersion with him. No one speak English to this man. We're just gonna throw him in.
If you want to use the bathroom, Chris, you better learn how to ask in Spanish.
Exactly. Here's my question though. Did you go to high school? For some reason in my head, you went to a different high school than you were like zoned to go for.
Exactly, because my parents worked for a different school district, so they
That's
sent me
right.
to school
Okay.
in the district where they worked.
That's right. Okay. So I didn't make that up. But then so where you live was mostly Hispanic,
Yeah,
but where you went to school was not.
exactly. There you go.
And that's where it was mostly like a higher Asian population, right?
No, I just was in the Asian club.
Oh, okay. Well, you had always said that most of your friends were Asian.
I mean, they just were.
Okay.
They were my friends. I was just because they were there. They were the people closest to me, and we all became friends. Like it was my neighbor across the street, around the corner. We were a melting pot.
Why did they go to that school?
Because their parents didn't work for that school district, Allison.
No. Why did your neighbors go to the same high school as you if
No,
you
they
went to a
didn't.
different district?
Oh no. Okay. Hold on.
Oh.
You're mixing stuff
Oh
up.
my gosh,
Okay.
you're making this confusing.
You're making this confusing, Allison.
You're making this
My
confusing.
neighborhood group of friends were all different backgrounds. It was
But
black
they
people,
weren't
Filipino
at your high
people,
school.
Mexican people. We all lived together in this neighborhood, and we were all close friends. But then the high school I went to, for an unrelated reason, I was in the Asian and Pacific Islander club.
Okay. See, I assumed when you were talking about your friends, you were talking about your friends who were also at the same high school, but I realized you don't have any friends at high school. You only had your neighborhood friends. Makes sense now.
Exactly, Allison.
Yes. Logan says your Spanish is terrible. His is much more superior than yours is.
You should hear him speak Spanish. It's some of the worst
Is it
Spanish
good?
you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, I was like, is he really
Horrible.
good?
Horrible. No one knows what he's saying.
Oh.
People speak English and people who speak Spanish have no idea what he's saying. But anyway, we can just delve into my my rich cultural past. I was in everything. I was in that club. I was in the Young Black Scholars Club. I would just walk up to clubs.
You're like, I was in every every ethnic club that they had.
My friend group is wide and diverse. I can blend in and shift wherever I need to be.
You're like I was thinking like a ghost, but no, because I was thinking like you can take shape of whatever, but no, that's not going well.
It's not. You know what? We're back from the break.
Let's bring us back.
Oh, I already brought us back.
Oh.
Okay, I'll bring us back
keep
again.
going. Do it again.
We're back from the break. Where if you caught us live, which we don't talk about a lot here on the podcast, we actually stream this live on YouTube if you want to come and join us. But we also send this over to our Patreon. Wait, Allison's distracting me. She's typing something in the Discord. Okay, we're super distracted. But anyways, Allison had some ridiculous questions for me over the break. So if you're a Patreon member, you get to hear that. If not, come think about it. If you want to hear just the nonsense that Allison says to me between the breaks on the episode, you get to hear it. But
you never know what you're gonna get.
You do not know. But today I know what we're doing is we're talking about what I'm loving. So Allison, what is this all about?
This is when Chris and I share something that we are loving, something that is bringing us joy, something that makes us smile, something that makes us look to the next day and say, today is worth living because I have this to look forward to, whether it is a book, a person, an event, a city, a experience, or the most amazing TV show of all. It's what we're loving.
Well, I know that was a lie, but do you want to tell us about what show you watched that is not the most amazing show? Because I'm looking at it here and I already can tell no.
I am loving Married at First Sight.
Oh no. Oh no.
They have a new season out on Netflix. So I think it's like a Lifetime show, or it's some show on a network that I don't normally get. So every couple whenever years, Netflix will release a new season. And let me tell you, I tell myself, Allison, you're not going to watch it. You only have so many hours in the day. That is trash. You should spend your time like reading an encyclopedia or meditating.
Reading an encyclopedia. Is that what you do?
I don't know.
This is why you don't know how to relax. You're reading the encyclopedia on your free time.
I don't read encyclopedia, but I'm just saying, doing something smart. And let me tell you, no, go to the Netflix one.
Oh wait, what is this? Not it? Is this different?
Well, I'm watching Married at First Sight season 12. And
what season are they on?
I don't know. I Netflix does it late. This took place like during the pandemic, and we're out of the pandemic, aren't we? Right? No, we aren't, because my friend tested positive for COVID the other week.
You gave her COVID. Wow.
I did not give her COVID. Okay, but I am watching season 12, and I have been binging this. Like, Matt is so annoyed with how much. I am 10 episodes in, and it is.
Wait, how many episodes are there?
Incredible. There's like 20 something episodes.
Look at this.
But here's the deal.
These people don't look happy, I can tell you this. If you're not catching this live, you can't see this, but I'm scrolling on Netflix through season 12, and not one person in any of these photos looks happy. There's not a smile.
See that girl?
Look at this. Is the most unhappy bride I've ever seen in my life. None of these people are happy.
Wait, do you see the girl they keep showing?
Her?
The girl with her name is Paige, and something big happens in this season, and it's something that's never happened before. It is uncharted territory in Married at First Sight, because I've watched pretty much every season.
Will the world
I know
ever
how
be
to have
the
a
same?
good time. And let me tell you, it is so good. These people live in Atlanta. So what they do is they go to different cities, and they have Married at First Sight.
They're going around the country ruining people's lives.
No, the last one I watched was in New Orleans. So they go and they match people up. So here's how it works. You are single, supposedly. I'll just leave that.
Wow.
And you answer all of these questionnaires, and you're interviewed by these experts, by these like therapists and marriage counselors. And it's like the same therapists and marriage counselors that have been around for a long time. And they match you. They get like hundreds of people that come in. They go through everything. They do this like matchmaker test, and they match you. They match like 5 couples with a spouse, and they marry them at first sight.
They match 5 couples with a
so
separate
they take
person?
Five men and 5 women.
And they put them together.
And they put them together and match them. So there's
and this
5
out of a pool of a
weddings.
lot of people, right? There's like a lot of people who apply for this.
Out of a pool of a lot of people that all live in the same city, because you want to be married to someone that lives in the same area.
Yeah, makes sense.
So they go to different cities, and they do all these interviews and everything. They even do like home tours, I guess. I don't know.
Like of each other's homes?
They still do that. I think once they narrow it down to like, okay, here are 10 couples we think could work, they go into every person's individual home and learn about them, so they can see like, okay, is your lifestyle, would that be compatible? And they narrow it down to 5 couples.
But the people don't know. The people aren't getting like a preview of this, right? It's this other independent group that are looking at everyone's lives and like, okay, we can put these people together.
They know they're signing up for this.
But they don't. It's not like, oh, here, Allison, here's Jimmy again. Here's Jimmy. This is what his house looks like. Do you think you can live with us? They're not doing that.
No, you don't know anything about the opposite gender, because it is like man and woman. And so then you get married at first sight.
It sounds horrible.
You go on a week-long honeymoon.
They pay for it?
And then, yes.
Okay, at least it's one
and
good
then
thing.
you
Okay.
live with them in a apartment that the show pays for. So you have a neutral space, and you live in a furnished apartment for like 7 weeks. And after the 7 weeks is up, you decide, do you want to stay married or do you want to get a divorce?
Why would you agree to be on this show?
I have not agreed to be on it.
No, not you, but why would a person agree to be on this show? It sounds
I think
horrible.
the dating game is rough.
I mean,
think about it. This is preferable to dating apps for some people, Chris.
Logan said this is the bad decision-making show. That's what this is.
Let me tell you that there are many couples. There's at least 5 couples out of the 12 seasons that are still together and like have children.
5 out of the 12 seasons?
I don't know. It's probably more than that. But I will tell you that I get so invested when I'm watching this because I like to consume drama, like watch it, but I never like to be a part of the drama. And I get to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to know. So I've already Googled who stays together and who.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I always do this for reality
Then
TV.
why watch it? Like, I thought the point was like the surprise of, at the end, look what happened.
I can't wait. I had to know. I already know who wins The Bachelor, which is also what I'm loving.
How?
I Googled it. It's all been spoiled. Spoilers, Chris.
Oh no, Allison. Yeah, this one's all you. This is an all Allison pick here.
I love it. I'm opening myself. I'm being very vulnerable by sharing this. We all have our guilty pleasures.
Yeah, we
right?
all have those shows.
Some people choose drinking. Some people choose drugs. Some people choose gambling. Some people choose, I don't know, any other things. Mine is trashy TV. Okay?
Yeah, getting high on drama. That's your thing.
There we go. It's a lot cheaper than those other things. I'll just say that.
That is true. That is true. Is there much of a hangover afterwards?
I get really sad when it's over, and I feel like there's nothing to watch on TV.
I mean, too bad there's. I mean, I wish there was more than like 12,000 reality dating shows that you could watch. I really wish there was more options for you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, you can judge me all you want. This isn't the what I'm loving that Chris approves of.
That is true. Okay. That is not the name of this segment. I will give you that.
That's not the name of this segment.
It's not the name of this.
What are you loving? I want to know.
Okay. All right. So I got to set this up. I got some video to go with this one. So
because you're fancy.
I got to incorporate some technology in this.
I don't think I've ever incorporated technology in what I'm loving.
Once. If you see the screen moving around, that's me. Allison's not doing any of that. So last Friday, I was sitting here at my desk and I was like, there's a Clippers Sacramento Kings basketball game today. I had forgotten about this. I remember, I thought about it like a month ago and it hit me last minute. Like I want to go to this game because I'm a Sacramento Kings fan. I live in Los Angeles and obviously I don't get to see them play very often. It's only when they come down here. So this was they come down to LA to play the Clippers twice a year. This was the second time. So they weren't coming back again this year. And I was like, oh no, do I go to the game? It's super last minute. So
how last minute?
Like it was 12:00 p.m. and the game was at 7:30 p.m. that day.
Oh my gosh. Did you YOLO?
YOLO?
You only live once.
I YOLO'd. So I YOLO'd. I'm
so proud of you.
But I went back and forth. So I was sitting here and I was like, oh, well, the game is in a few hours. Who am I going to go with? Because I didn't talk to anyone about this before. So I was like super last minute. I was like,
I don't have a lot of friends, especially from high school. Well, sorry. This is a throwback.
Me again.
Sorry. Me again. And I feel bad because this is that story, what we talked about, it's all going to be edited out. It's going to make me sound really mean.
Yeah.
But I will say that in our break, we talked about something and I was bringing back.
No, don't give context. No context. If you're not a patron, Allison just sounds like a horrible human being, and I want to leave it that way.
That's fine.
But anyway,
tell me about it in a reading
as
or
I
review.
was saying.
Okay.
I was like, okay, once you're in your 30s, people don't just snap and just do things like last minute. It's it's a hassle to get people to do anything because everyone got lives they're living. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? And I was reaching out to a few people. Reached out to Logan. He couldn't go. He was like, oh, I have plans already.
Logan, like you're popular, like you're more popular than Chris.
Like people like you, and so I ran through a list of people. My brother, another friend. Everyone was busy, but I hit a friend named Chris up, and he was like, because he lives in LA. I was like, oh, why didn't I think about this first? He's already out in that area. So I said, hey, do you want to go to this game? And he was like, I was like, look, I'm going. I will pay for your ticket. I'm just going to buy it. So either just show up. That's all you got to do. He's like, all right. So I was looking, and the tickets I was going to buy, someone bought them. They were great seats. Someone bought them before I got to them. I was like, you know what? I texted them, you know what? Maybe let's just not go. I couldn't get the tickets I wanted to get. And then I just checked this 7 p.m., 30 minutes before the game started.
Oh my gosh, this is stressful.
I checked again. I was like, let me just look. I'm doing one more check. I had like 4 browser tabs open, checking like a bunch of different websites at the same time.
Yeah. StubHub, Ticketmaster.
Found
That's the only two I know.
Was it SeatGeek, AXS? And that's the one I ended up finding them on. Mm-hmm. And Allison, these seats were amazing. Super close. And I'm like, all right.
How much were they?
Well, I'm going to tell you. So I found them, and they were $115 for 4 rows from the baseline.
Oh, and Logan is pissed right now.
He should be. And so I'm like, hey, I texted Chris. I'm like, hey, look, I got these tickets. Let's go. So as I'm buying it, the site says, oh, you cannot process error, as I'm trying to check out. And I'm like, oh man, somebody bought them somehow. But I was like, let me just refresh the page. I refreshed the page, Allison. The price dropped to $75 a ticket, and it allowed me to buy it. So I ended up getting 2 seats for basically $150.
Oh my gosh.
And
so is this the way to do it? Is this the way to find really inexpensive tickets, is to wait till 30 minutes beforehand?
I mean, here's the thing. It can work out for you, but I've had it backfire before. I remember I went to Portland, and I went to see the Trailblazers, and I was like, let's just wait outside, and I'm going to see how close to the game time I can get, and ended up not getting a deal, and I set up super high. So it doesn't work all the time, but it can work. But Allison, let me show you where these seats were.
Show me.
These are the seats I got for $75.
Oh my gosh, you could reach out and touch number 2.
Kawhi Leonard's right there. Look how close this is. I've never sat this close in my life.
They probably were like, oh, the people down there are so important.
Look, I was down there with the bougie people. Steve Ballmer, who's the owner of the Clippers, is like right in front of me. Let me just get this out of here. That's how close I was sitting. He was like 3 rows in front of where we were. For $75.
You should have bumped into him on accident.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you drop some money on the ground I could pick up? But
did you drop some money?
But this was the game. This might be the game of the year. It went to double overtime.
Wow.
The final score was 175 to 176.
Dang, that is a high scoring game.
It was amazing. But yes, that's what I'm loving. That game for $75. Right there on the court, basically. Never in my, just ridiculous.
And all those people that told you no, I bet they should just feel so bad right now. They should feel
bad. I sent them all pictures. I sent them all video from the game.
Good.
I was like, look at where I'm sitting. This could have been you.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking to you, Logan. We're shouting you out right now, which actually leads us into our listener shout out.
Take it away, Allison. Oh, actually, I put this in there, so maybe I should take it away. So this listener shout out, it's going out to an Instagram user at OnlyJennifer0 is her handle on Instagram. And she posted, she made a post about an episode, one of our recent episodes, and she said, Allison, my relaxing list is similar to yours. She said, I'm not a parent, but I was raised that there are 168 hours in a week, and you should be working at least half of them. It's been a hard time unlearning this. And so if you didn't catch last episode, Allison shared her horrible story about the ridiculous ways in which she tries to relax by making a to-do list. So Jennifer's right with you. Only Jennifer0 is right with you, Allison. She knows your pain.
Thank you. And I will say that you gave me homework and said, by the time we record again, you need to have a new list. And I'm going to share that at the first start of our next Patreon episode.
Ooh, what a tease.
So
what a tease.
If you want to hear it, you got to go to Awkward.
There's a website for you to read it. There you go.
Patreon.com/thisisawkwardpodcast, or click the link in our show notes so that way you can sign up, be a Patreon, and get some of those bonus content, bonus episodes, no ads, Discord, and just a little bit of extra fun and joy in your life.
Yeah, exactly. And shout out to Jane. Appreciate you sending in your awkward story. If you want to be like Jane, you can give us a call at 707-200-8259, or you can go to awkwardpodcast.com like Jane did and leave your awkward story for us there. The list is running low. We're in need of some more. So if you got one you've been holding on to, now's the time to send it in to us. You will I say there's a high likelihood that story will end up on a future episode. We send it in now.
Yes, we want to hear from you. So check it out.
All right, so we'll see you all in a couple of weeks, or if you're a patron, we'll see you, I guess, in a few minutes as we move over to that. But then it'll be in your episode or your podcast feed next week.
Bye.
I was waiting for you to say something. Oh,
I need to find my list.
Boom. Episode is done. Here we go.
Okay, I have a couple of new things I want to talk about in our Patreon episode. Can you start us off, please?
Yeah, hold on. I got it. So saying goodbye to Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Appreciate y'all joining us. For Patreon, we leave that only on YouTube. Here.
Free time. Oh no, where's my list? I made a new list.
All right, I'm heading to music. Boom. We're in Patreon mode now. So we had a couple things on the docket here. Allison, you're going to be telling us about some list of your revised to-do list for us to judge you and see if you got this right this time.
For you to judge me?
Yeah, we're going to judge you and see if this is actually relaxation or if this is just another sad attempt. I'm very interested to see what you come up with.
Okay. I think I had it. I'm trying to find it because now I don't remember where I put it. But I did start creating a new list. It's don't think you're going to like it. I'll just tell you that much. I'm just going to be honest. You're not going to appreciate it. But now I can't find it. Dang it. I'm looking.
Okay, you did all that lead up and tease, and you don't even have your list ready.
I did all that lead up and tease, and then I'm like, oh, I don't.
Well, Beth Ann said, I wore my Zero shoes thanks to Allison today. I really like them.
You really like them? Oh, I'm so excited that you like them. Oh, I'm wearing them. I wear mine almost every day now. Well, at least my sandals. Okay, I don't know where my list is.
Those extra wide shoes, right? The ones with the wide foot, so that your toes aren't all smushed together.
They're not cute. I don't think that they're cute. Like they're not like I'm like low key embarrassed every time I wear them. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But they're really comfortable.
Hey, when you get to a certain age, it's about being comfortable. You gotta
that's where I am. Okay, I don't see my list. I don't see my list, but let me tell you, I'm gonna write it right now. Here's
you don't remember any of it?
No. Oh, I do remember. I do remember some of it.
Yeah, just go for your memory.
My Friday list is coffee, is a coffee with friend. It is a 2.5 mile walk with my dog.
Okay, so far I'm liking this list so far.
Thank you.
Everyone in Discord, feel free to judge her as she lists these things off.
So another thing that I want to do, and this is when I started making the list, so I might have accidentally thrown it away with my plans, is I decided that I want to really do a really large vegetable garden. And I want to have these really 2 large vegetable beds with this really cool trellis and where the tomatoes can grow up and all these things. And so Matt was like, great, let's do it. So we figured out, I spent all last Friday. This is when I came up with my list. So I was outside measuring the space, trying to figure out how big I want him to build the raised beds. And then the way I want to do it, I joined a gardening course online. I did a 7-day trial of a gardening course. And I was like, okay, what vegetables do I need to plant? All this stuff. And then I worked on this for probably 5 hours on Friday. And then by Friday night, I was like, this is a lot of freaking work.
Gardening is a lot of work.
This is, and so I started Googling the time commitment for gardening like this. And it's you need to spend 8 to 15 hours a week out there watering and harvesting. And I was 8 to 15 hours a week. And then I started thinking, oh my gosh, Matt's going to rip out all this grass and put in this irrigation system for me and do all these things that I asked him to do, and he's going to be real pissed whenever by month 2 it's just weeds because I haven't been going out there 8 to 15 hours a week.
I gotta tell you, when you told me this, that's immediately what I thought.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I spent all day Friday planning out my garden, and by Friday night I talked myself out of it.
Yeah, here we go. Look, Beth Ann said, I'd start with a large pot. And do whatever, and that is what I do, and it's easier because you went from 0 to $1 million with this garden
Oh,
thing.
but not even. Last year, I got a raised bed and I did not keep up with it.
Wait, hold on.
Raised bed.
You've done this already? And you're like, you know what? That went so poorly. I'm going to double down and go with 2 raised beds.
No, I'm going to triple. I'm going to quadruple down. I was like, I am going to grow I'm going to dry my own spices. Like I got into this gardening course that I got a 7-day free trial. I consumed like 3 hours worth of content. I sketched out my garden. I measured all the spaces. I put like bricks down outside where the edges were going to go. And I did it all. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Like, I don't know if I have the extra hours. When am I like, I was just like, we're going to spend like probably $2,000 to make this what I want it to. And then it's just probably not going to do anything. Like we were going to have to even fence off part of our yard to keep the dog from going in there and getting it. So not only were we going to build them and rip out grass and put in like pebbles and all the things, we were going to fence off part of our yard. And then I was like, nah, I think I'm just going to buy myself an orange tree. So now I have a lemon tree and I have an orange tree. And I bought a pot and I got on Saturday, I got a milkweed plant, which is supposed to attract caterpillars that then turn into the monarch butterflies. So I bought a milkweed plant that I have to keep in the front yard because my dog eats anything that's living in the backyard. And then I bought my son wanted to buy some strawberries, which they won't grow here. So, but I did, and I planted them.
Well, first, I was going to say that we have huge strawberry farms out here in Southern California. There's actually one that was randomly in the corner lot next to a community college. It was like all city, like houses, colleges, freeway, and then there's one corner that's just a strawberry farm where they would farm strawberries in a little stand and sell them.
That's cool.
So
yeah, it's too hot to have strawberries here.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work out there.
So I'm trying just because my son wanted to buy 3 little $2 plants. I was like, okay.
You can do like the hydroponic indoors and get strawberries.
I'm afraid then I'll collect bugs. Like I feel like bugs will come.
Yeah, well,
so anyway, I started making my list. On my list was my gardening.
Number 2 thing I was going to say to you is, Allison, I want to applaud you for the growth that you've shown here. You know, old Allison would have gone through with all of this and then just let it all burn to the ground 2 months later.
That's because I did that last year at this time.
But new Allison was like, you know
you're
what?
Right. Old Allison did do that.
Yeah. But you've learned from those mistakes and you're like, you know what? This is probably not a good idea. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. So I wasted like 6 hours on Friday planning this all out. Okay, so Shirley says, I had planter boxes installed almost a year ago. Still haven't planted anything, but I also have draft lemon, orange, and lime trees. They all have fruit. See, I was like, okay. And also, I don't even eat a lot of vegetables.
That's the thing. I'm like, I don't see you just cooking and eating vegetables. Like when you said drying herbs, I was like, okay, Allison. Oh, sure.
Yeah, I don't even do all of that. And so I'm like, oh, I wouldn't even like I don't know how to make eggplant. That's too squishy for me anytime I've had it. Like that's too mushy.
Yeah, you heard my eggplant story.
And then you hear like all of these like I started doing all this research and it's like all these bugs that get in your garden and you have to watch out for the caterpillars that'll eat everything. And I was like, this is a lot of work. And I decided I don't want to do that much work. Beth Ann, tell me how you cook your eggplant because I don't even know how to make eggplant. So send me your favorite recipe.
And you and Bugs, they don't know the videos you sent me screaming as you put a cup over a spider, like the world's smallest spider. You're like screaming because you got to cover up this spider on the floor.
That did happen. I have sent Chris multiple videos documenting me and bugs in the house.
As if a giant monster had broken through the wall and was about to tear your house down.
Yeah, well, anyway, so that was my like plan was I was going to add gardening onto it. And then I took that off of it.
Okay, good. Now what's remaining on this list?
Coffee with a friend, 2.5 mile walk with my dog.
Okay. Was that the end of the list?
That's it.
I feel like those 2 things were on the list last time we talked.
Here's the deal. Okay, I do want to vacuum. I know you don't like that on my list.
This is a
I won't
relaxation
vacuum
list, not
this
a
Friday
to-do
because the
list.
housekeepers come on Thursday.
It's not a to.
But
It's not. This
every
is not a
other
to-do
Friday.
list. This is a ideas for how to relax list.
Okay, so I also thought about taking my dog to a dog park, but taking my dog to a dog park gives me high anxiety because I don't know what kind of dogs he's going to meet. And if he's going to be too overwhelming for those dogs, and those dogs are going to want to fight him. And
you're too
then
small to break up a dog fight.
I am too small to break up a dog fight, especially with a dog that's 60 pounds like my dog is. And then I think, oh my gosh, if I take him to a dog park, he could get fleas. He could get diseases. He could get, all these things. So then I have to cross that off my list.
Okay.
And then I think, well, I could go grocery shopping. And I'm like, well, no, that's a chore. I don't want to do that.
Yes.
So I cross that off my list. And then I think I could go shopping. And I think, oh, golly, the pandemic ruined me. I don't even like to go shopping anymore.
I don't blame you.
The other day I went to Target and it was not fun.
That's my experience every time I go to Target. It's never fun. How about this? Have you ever gone to a movie by yourself?
Oh my gosh, no, never.
Look, I put Logan onto this. He didn't know about this. I did this for the first time. I don't know when it was, like years ago. And I was like, I think it was like the middle of the day. I had a day off and I was like, I'm just going to go to the movies. And let me tell you, it is a very pleasant experience.
What movie is playing, guys? Let's pick out a movie for me.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I know one of your favorites.
Matt saw that with the kids. Is that appropriate? Should I be telling everyone that he
saw that with your kids are old enough to see that movie.
Okay.
Nothing crazy happens in there.
Okay, here are my options. Creed 3. What's that?
It's like a Rocky spin-off series.
Oh, Ant-Man, Cocaine Bear.
Allison, please go see Cocaine Bear.
I think I read about that in
please go see Cocaine Bear. I would love for you to give us a review of that.
Magic Mike's Last Dance. Demon Slayer. Emily. RRR? What's that?
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that.
It's only at 6 p.m. There's nothing available. Unicorn Wars, subtitled in English. It's at 10 p.m. That's not an option for me. Maybe I'll go to a different movie theater.
Yeah, here. In the Discord, or if you're listening to this later on, you can post it in Patreon or come to the Discord and post it. Give Allison some movie recommendations because we're assuming this is for this Friday, right?
Yeah, but there's nothing good. Not in the middle of the day. There's Creed 3, Ant-Man, Cocaine Bear. There's a ton of Cocaine Bears. Jesus Revolution, Operation Fortune, Puss in Boots, Avatar, Magic Mike's Last Dance.
I like how it's this dramatic Magic Mike's The Last Dance.
Well, he is getting up there in age, so
he's like,
no one wants to see an old man take it all.
They're like, Mike, are you going to be at the club this weekend? He's like, my body just can't handle the stress of the game anymore. Come on, come back for one last dance.
Okay, so Beth Ann asked if there are any museums near me. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'd have to drive into downtown Houston. I've even Googled. Oh, that's what it is. I sent Chris a screenshot. I had to Google what fun things to do on your day off. Do you remember?
That was really sad. That was one of the saddest moments in our friendship right there when I saw that.
I sent him, what did it say?
That.
Yeah. 37, actually, I Googled fun things to do on your day off. And the article I ended up on was 37 productive things to do on your day off.
No. So Beth said, my birthday is on Monday, and you know how much stuff is closed on Mondays? Everything I wanted to do is closed. Oh, that sucks.
Oh, that's true. A lot of things are closed on Mondays.
A lot of good restaurants are closed on Mondays too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of the mom and pop restaurants, not the chains.
You're right. There are not a lot of movies in the middle of the day anymore. I guess they stopped doing that, right? Because people weren't going to the movies that often.
Yeah, so why do it? And it has to be early enough. I have to even look at how long the movie is because I have to make sure that, I can pick up my kids in time for school. So anyway, I will find something to do, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, go back to the drawing board. You gotta.
Well, this Friday, I have to take my dog to the vet to get updated on all his shots. So There we go. Built-in activity.
Thrilling.
To be there at 8:30 in the morning. So get excited.
Against my better judgment, I'm going to move us on to the next thing on the list here. which again, Allison put this here, and it says Chat GPT, and we all remember the debacle that was Allison's Chat GPT awkward story. So
what was it again? I don't remember.
It was about someone spilling wine, and then them having to go out because there's no club soda. I still don't really know what the story was about.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You told me nothing about this. I don't know what this is, so I'm very nervous.
Here's my thing. Chris said, "What are we going to talk about today in Patreon?" And I said, "I don't know." And he was like, "Let me see what I can find up." And I said, "I'll look at Chat GPT." And he was like, "Absolutely not." So adamant. And I was like, "No, I'll just ask them to come up with some conversation topics." Chris is like, "This is not happening. I'm the man in control."
Okay, let's go down.
Anyway, and I said, "I don't care. I'm coming up with some good things and you're going to like it." And so I literally typed into Chat GPT, "I'm hosting a podcast episode with my friend. We want to discuss some fun, lighthearted topics together. What should we talk about?" And it gave me 10 things. And I was like, these are okay. So then I wrote, "Can you offer some fun questions that I can ask my friend during this podcast? Nothing too personal, but fun and engaging that others would like to listen to." And I got 10 questions and I got a tip for you.
Oh, questions and a tip.
Yes. It says, "Remember to encourage your friend to elaborate and share stories or anecdotes related to their answers. Have fun and keep the conversation lighthearted and engaging."
Okay, I'm very nervous, but I'm ready to hear these stories.
This is ChatGPT. It's incredible. And some of these I'm like, this is really good. Okay, so here's one of my things. Oh gosh. Number 3 is, what's your favorite way to spend a day off? So we know mine is to do chores. What is yours, Chris? We know mine is to obsess about building a garden that's going to take me all of my time and energy and then decide to not do it, pull the plug. But what is your favorite way to spend a day off? And then I do want to hear about people in Discord to share theirs.
Okay, this is good. Let me show you how to relax here. All right. Oh wait, what did you see? Allison's typing something silently, on a podcast. He's silently looking up to the side.
Look at Discord. Look what I was just told.
You should ask ChatGPT what you like to do on your day off. Like asking the AI what it wants to do. Okay.
I just wrote, "I don't relax very well. What should I do on my day off?"
Okay.
That's what I did. Okay, but tell me yours.
All right. So this is how you relax. This is what I would do. Turn to Milo. What are you doing with your face? Why is it?
The number one thing was practice meditation or deep breathing.
Oh, good luck with that.
It's because I said I don't relax, so it says to calm your mind and body.
You're like, "I can't relax. What should I do?" It's like, relax.
Okay, so what do you like to do?
This is what my ideal day off would be. All right.
Okay.
Turn the alarm off on my phone. No alarms getting blared in my ears. I'm just waking up whenever my body decides to wake up. I'm going to get up, get ready, and I'm in comfortable clothes, and I'm going to go to a nice coffee shop. Right?
Okay.
I'm gonna get a nice fancy cup of coffee, nice pastry, something sweet, some sugary, bunch of carbs. I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna relax, take it easy, be on my phone, scroll, chill out. Then, if I'm still hungry, I'm going to a breakfast place. If I'm still hungry, going to a breakfast
spot.
You had breakfast? No, I had coffee and a pastry. That is not breakfast. No, that's a snack. That's a warm up. That's appetizers. So then I'm going to some restaurant that specializes with like pancakes. There's a place in Long Beach called the Potholder that I loved going to. Okay. And they have these cinnamon roll pancakes where it's like basically this big swirl of cinnamon in this giant pancake. Getting something like that, some eggs, some bacon on the side. Boom. Then I'm going to go somewhere. Do you
sit down in the restaurant and eat by yourself, or do you take it to go?
I would say, you know what? On my day off, I'm sitting and eating it there. I want it for breakfast doesn't travel well. You can't put breakfast in the car like in a container. It's going to be all pancake. Weird. No, it's going to be all soggy and weird.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I'm going to go somewhere where I can go for a nice walk, nice stroll. Like if I'm in Long Beach already, there's tons of great places to walk along the beach. They have like the peninsula you can go out to. You can go by like the park and the lagoon out there. I'm going to do that. Then obviously I'm going to be hungry again, Allison. So now I was thinking about the next
After your
meal.
walk.
After my walk, I'm going to work up an appetite. So then I'm going to go find something really delicious to eat, somewhere where I can sit outside and enjoy it. maybe some sushi if I'm by the ocean, or maybe like a burger place. You know, the options are limitless.
You're gonna lift your sushi up between your two chopsticks. And you're gonna say, "This is where you came from," as you look over the ocean. Is that what you're gonna do? Take one final look at your home before your demise. Is that your plan?
Yeah, I'm
To
gonna
taunt the sushi with its where it was
see.
came from.
This is why you got food poisoning last time you ate sushi. They're taunting it, and then karma came back and got you. I will not be doing that. But I'm gonna have a nice meal, and then you know what? Since we talked about it, maybe I'll go to the movies. I'll go
Okay.
find a nice movie theater with reclining seats. Now, one of the best movie theaters I've ever been to in LA is at the Universal City Walk. It's like right out, connected to Universal Studios.
Yeah.
The nicest movie theater I've ever been to is
Okay.
fancy. Either that or there's something called iPick theaters out here. They
Yep.
give you a blanket and a pillow, something like that. Then after that, I'm gonna be hungry again. So now I'm gonna go get me some.
But aren't you going to eat at the movies? Because you're going to go to a place where they serve you food.
Just popcorn. I'm gonna keep it light.
Okay.
Keep it light.
Okay.
Popcorn,
Keep it-
maybe a slushy, and or icy, or whatever you call them at the movie theater. Then going to get some dinner. It doesn't matter where, but the key is I'm getting some dessert. The dessert is the key to this. I gotta get like something that's hot, like a hot like apple crisp or like a peach cobbler, some hot baked thing with some ice cream on it. That's all that matters. And then you come home and you watch one of your favorite shows.
Roll up the stairs to your apartment door because you can't walk because you've eaten so much.
You waddle up the stairs, you pop on the couch, throw on a nice show, maybe a basketball. Oh wait, take it back. After dinner, I'm going to a basketball game,
Okay.
and then that's the end of the day. That's how you relax, Allison.
Wow. Beth Ann says that sounds like a long day for Chris. I agree. Let's be real here. You're not waking up when it's still breakfast time. You're just heading straight to lunch. Let's be honest. And Chris is going to wake up, go to lunch. After lunch, he's going to go to a movie. After the movie, he's going to go to dinner. After dinner, he's going to eat. He's going to go and he's going to find a dessert place. After dessert, he's going to go to a basketball game. After a basketball game, he's going to go back and he's going to watch TV for the next 7 hours. Roll into bed at 3 a.m. and start over again at noon the next day.
But look, I just came up with this off the top of my head, Allison. You get look.
Okay.
You need. That's just. I hope that inspires you to think about some things that you could do for yourself.
I'll think about it. I liked the coffee thing. So I drop my kids off at 8 o'clock and then around that time. And I have to take my dog to the vet at 8:30. And so maybe on the way home from the vet, maybe I'll do a nice Starbucks drive-through.
No, go find a small coffee shop. Don't do Starbucks. Go find like a random hipster
Oh,
coffee
sounds
shop
like a lot of work.
where there's like, stenciled, wheat grains on the side of
Actually,
the building.
I take Harry to the vet where my mom has been taking her cats since I was in kindergarten. Not that they've been alive that long, just she always acquires more cats. Actually, my dad is a cat man. You know how they call it, like cat ladies. My dad's a cat man. Anyway, so it's all of that to say it's not in my city, but where it is, they do have a really nice coffee shop. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there.
Okay.
That's what I'll do. I'll leave Harry in the car. I'll say, I don't. In the heat.
I'm gonna have my dog have a heat stroke in this car
We're at
while I'm
the
at
window.
this sipping coffee.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
look, I don't know what it's like in your part of the world, but over here, people, well, actually not everywhere, but some people walk in with their dog. They like have their dog on a leash. They go in there,
I'm
get
always
coffee.
nervous. Harry's very large,
He is the big
and
dog.
he's not like a cute little dog that doesn't take up space. He's like a large kind of toddler that kind of wants to get in everything and not really listen. And
Get a little saddle and just ride him through the drive-thru.
Okay. Next thing.
Actually,
so
you
it
know
does-
what? We have to cut it short. Allison has an important appointment to get to. I just looked at the clock, looking at the time. I told her we got to make sure we get her out here on time. So we have an Am I the Awkward One that's going to be scheduled for our next recording in a couple of weeks. So,
Okay.
oh look, Shirley had to go anyways. Bye, Shirley. We'll
Shirley
catch you
had to
next
go.
time. So
This was fun.
We'll save that for next time because I did not expect those great questions from
See,
you.
tell me, ChatGPT did not let us down this time.
ChatGPT came through. I will give them credit for this
Thank
one. I
you.
will.
We basically just talked about the same thing the entire episode, but
Basically.
still, I loved hearing Chris's perfect day.
See,
That
it's
was your,
beautiful.
and you know what I want to say? I want to say to anyone who's listening, whether you're joining us live, Beth Ann, Shirley, Logan, or if you're listening to this later, I want you to just like write down what you feel like your perfect day would be and share it with us. I want to
Oh,
hear what
yes.
you would do. Like it can just literally be bullet points. It could be like, here's 3 or 4 things I would do. But if you had the day off with no interruptions, no what are those things called? Obligations,
What are those things?
children. If you had a day off with none of that, how would you spend your day? I do want to
Oh,
know that.
okay. Yes, please put that in the Discord. Put it in
Yeah.
Patreon website. Let us know.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, this was fun.
This was a good
We're
time.
not. Are we meeting next week?
Oh,
I
yeah.
already forgot.
Schedule update. Let me get our calendar here.
Yes, we
So
do have an update. Sorry, guys.
if you're listening live, this may apply to you. If you're listening to this podcast after the fact, these dates may have already passed. But
That's true.
today we're recording. This is March 1st. Our next recording date is not going to be until, let me find it here.
You ready? A long
March
time away.
21st. So Alice,
Is that right? We're gonna go 3 weeks without
well,
talking.
normally we would have recorded on March 16th, but then we had to push it back because of Allison. We had to push it out a few more days. So March 21st is going to be our next recording date, which is a Tuesday.
Okay. March 21st. We'll see you then. We'll have a lot to talk about by then.
We got a lot of catching up to do.
Yes, we do.
All right. So
Okay.
see you all later.
Bye, everyone.